Well, good evening, everybody. Alan Slaughterzinski with the Brevard Sports Network. No, this isn't a summer series of interviews here tonight. This is a special interview we are doing here. And I tell you what, over the last couple of years, the former director of student activities for Brevard Public Schools made it his mission to increase the pay for coaches here in Brevard County. And I tell you what, he did a hell of a job at it then, and he has continued to make it his work beyond his job, which he left here a couple of weeks ago in Brevard County. Please help me welcome back to the Brevard Sports Network, beautiful downtown Melbourne studios, Dr. Andrew Ramjit. Doctor, how you doing?
Feels
Pull
good.
that. You can pull that thing closer. Yeah, there you go.
Better.
Move that thing there.
Feels good to be back on BSN.
There
Alan.
you go.
I missed it out here as I was driving in. I was just taking it all in. I missed that drive every day, and I just missed the air. I missed the coaches, athletic directors, but feels good to be back here on BSN.
Now, what we're going to talk about today, of course, is the Florida Coaches Coalition. Now, before we get to the Florida Coaches Coalition, we got a little catching up to do.
Absolutely.
And you have a little catching up to do with the county. So what have you been up to since your departure from BPS?
Man, since my departure from BPS, I've been enjoying being dad to the kids and actually being around a whole lot more. But outside of that, just really laying the foundation for the Florida Coaches Coalition. I know I've spoken about it a few times while, when I was out here, but really what the Florida Coaches Coalition is an advocacy organization for coaches all across the state. We started off as an organization that was fighting for higher pay for coaches, not just Brevard. It started Brevard because I was here, obviously, but all across the state. And now we've grown even more. Now we're providing professional development to coaches, mental health resources to coaches, and just providing coaches with resources they're not getting in their school districts. As we know, school districts, they're cutting funding every year. And coaches are left with no way to get better in their profession.
Nope.
So that's what we're here for, is to help them get better, help pair up younger coaches with mentor coaches that have been around the block for a while. And ultimately, the main reason that hasn't changed, fight for higher pay for coaches.
This all started with a tweet.
All started with a tweet.
Tell us about it. It's on the screen.
So I think Smitty, if he's going to be watching this, he'll get a kick. So it was over a period of a week, we had 3 coaches December 21 that ended up leaving Brevard. I know Smitty was one of them, and I can't think of the other 2 off the top of my head right now. But I was frustrated because these coaches are leaving because they're not getting paid. They're not being appreciated by their school districts. So I sent out a tweet that essentially said, you know what, it's time to stand up to this. We're going to form an organization, and we're going to fight for higher pay for coaches. And it's funny because I started a Twitter page for the coalition, and the only follower was myself. And I liked it, I retweeted it, and it just blew up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, thousands of likes.
Well, that tweet alone, 500,000 impressions.
Yeah, 500,000 impressions off of one tweet. We had professional athletes retweeting. We had coaches retweeting. I mean, it was crazy how this one tweet just grew. But I think it grew organically because it's something that I think everyone could resonate with. It's not a political issue. It's not a red issue, a blue issue. It's not a black issue, a white issue. It's an issue that affects everyone because everyone knows coaches are underpaid severely in Florida.
Well, let me ask you this. The economies in Texas and Georgia, there's nothing about those economies that stand above what's going on here in the state of Florida, but yet those coaches make so much more money. How do they do it in places like Texas and Georgia, but they can't do it here?
Booster clubs.
Or talk about that.
Booster clubs. So a lot of people think, oh, well, coaches in Texas, they make 6 figures. Well, it's all based on the booster clubs and the booster club guidelines in each school district, right? They call them ISDs in Texas. So booster clubs are allowed to contribute to the salary of a coach, and it becomes public record. So while a school district may only contribute $5,000, $6,000, you might have the booster club that's willing to pay $100,000. So that's how you get that $105,000, $106,000 average salary for a coach. So booster clubs are able to make those payments, and surprisingly, there's only one county in Florida right now, Indian River, that allows that. So one of the big things that we're doing is lobbying school districts, meeting with school board members and meeting with the DOE to make it possible for all school districts in the state to adopt a platform where booster clubs can actually contribute to a coach's salary. Now, I'll throw this out there, and I'm not going to throw any names. There's schools that are already doing it, but they're kind of doing it on the sly and doing it undercover. So you have the haves and have-nots. We want to make it an even playing field with any school, if that's something that they want to do, to get their booster club up and running to help contribute to a coach's salary, that they'd be able to do that.
NIL's now legal in 13 states for high school. You see that becoming an impact to what you're doing eventually down the line?
NIL, you said?
NIL.
Well, here's the thing, and this will probably be coming out in the next...
Because they pay those coaches out of that NIL stipend in other states.
Absolutely, and it all depends on how it'll get worded out here in Florida and through the legislation. But I don't know if this is going to be breaking news here, but next year some high-level sources have confirmed to me that NIL is going to be approved in Florida.
It's got it, yeah. I've been told the same thing. I think it was discussed in 2021. It was brought forth, and I think there were some tweaks that needed to be made to it, and it's going to happen here.
No, it's going to happen next year. I'm fairly certain.
Yeah.
Unless there's some catastrophe, it's coming next year.
Now let's go back and talk about you. I mean, this has not been. This is all within a year and a half for you, right?
Yeah.
That this has been happening. You have so many members now. What is it that you're hearing from these coaches as they come in?
You know, it's crazy. From December 21 till now, July 23. So we're talking, what is that, 17, 18, maybe 19 months.
Yeah.
I can't do the math off the top of my head right now, but we're here under 13,000 members across the state, and that consists of high school, middle school, and youth level coaches. Mm-hmm. And what I'm hearing from these coaches is we need help. Who's going to stand up and advocate for us? Because here's one thing, and
I mean, you're 9,000 strong.
Yeah.
Membership-wise.
Memberships, yeah, we're very strong. But here's the thing. People, when they're in certain positions, they can't say certain things out loud.
I understand
that well. I learned that
firsthand,
but I still said it out loud. If anybody knows me, I'm going to say it.
I'm right there with you.
I'll say it and deal with the punishment after the fact. But a lot of people can't say certain things because of the fear of retaliation, because technically they can't say it. So, part of what we're here to do is to say things out loud and make the public aware of the low salary that these coaches make all across the state.
Now, a lot of people would say, okay, I love the idea. I think this is a fantastic idea. But there's a lot of talking. How are you going to make noise?
How do we make noise?
How do you make noise?
The same way that I've always made noise. The way we were able to get I was gonna slip up and say a word. The way we were able to get stuff done out here in Brevard is the same way we plan on going all across the state to push this, right? Is making people aware of the fact that coaches are not making money. I don't think the public is aware. And maybe I might be a few $100s short here. Head baseball coach in Brevard County is only making $2,800
right
before taxes. You think about all the time that they have to put in on a weekly basis. I mean, practices, games, travel, film, whatever it is. When you break it down hourly, Alan, these guys are making less than $1 an hour.
What and I think the thing that parents, and here I go again on my parent rant, but I think the thing that parents don't understand is there are parents that say, well, it's high school. Where it matters is club. What does it matter who coaches my kid? Well, it matters a lot.
Absolutely. When you think about the kids that have to go on to get these scholarships.
Right.
And just sending kids to college in general, they would not have these opportunities if it wasn't for the coaches that got them there. Yes, they have talent, but who's there to nurture that talent, to build that talent? It's the coaches.
Got a big banquet coming up.
Oh, awesome banquet.
August 19th coming up over in Orlando. The information is there on the screen for you to check out. Beautiful resort. Tell us a little bit about this banquet you got coming up.
So
why? What is the purpose of it?
So the conference and banquet, August 19th, purpose of the conference is just professional development for coaches. We're going to be talking about everything that you probably need to know going into the school year. We're doing free CPR certifications for coaches. They have to get those updated. I think it's every 2 years, or is it every year? I'm not too sure. I've been out of the role 3 months.
I think it's every 2 years.
I've been out of the role 3 months. I forgot everything already. Look at that.
Yeah.
We have Johnny Damon, World Series champion.
Yeah.
Right, Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees. He's going to be out there speaking on hydration. He actually owns a hydration company and a hydration drink called A Game. He'll be out there. We're going to talk about concussion risk for student athletes and how to prevent them. Jack Crow, former head coach over at Arkansas, Jacksonville State. He's going to be out there talking about that.
Great football coach.
Oh, awesome, man.
Yeah.
He was also the offensive coordinator over at Clemson.
Yep.
For a number of years. So a lot of the older heads, they're gonna enjoy that. But all around, we're gonna have a wonderful day of professional development for coaches. They'll be able to hear from coaches. They'll be able to hear from vendors. Oh, and I almost forgot. We have John Stuper, who was Governor DeSantis' baseball coach over at Yale. He's going to be doing a special presentation as well. So it's just a full day.
Brian Baldinger,
Baldinger,
Davis. They're all flashing up on the screen.
Yep,
there.
and the great thing about it, Alan, is everything we do is free.
Yeah.
Even if there's anyone watching right now, you want to get into coaching, you're not too sure, come on out. The event is free for everyone. Anyone that wants to walk in, they're not going to be turned away.
Love it. Absolutely love it. We're talking to Dr. Andrew Ramjit of the Florida Coaches Coalition, and you don't do this by yourself. Tell us about your staff.
Yes. We have our director of memberships who's sitting to my left.
Yes.
Chris Knoll. Chris is a longtime girls basketball coach in the state of Florida, out in Orange County. Very well-respected flag football coach that hopefully Brevard will add sometime soon.
I hope.
I hope so, too. But Chris is on board. He's our director of memberships. Mm-hmm. So Chris is really in charge of all the membership initiatives that we have and that we're going to be running all across the state, all the way from Pensacola down to Key West. So
what's the key part about that membership? It's free.
It's free.
Free.
Free for everyone.
Yeah, can't beat it.
And because here's the thing. When we first started up, we were looking at a pay model, and there's another coaches organization in the state that has coaches and schools pay, but what do coaches get out of that? That's part of the reason we were founded. I was a coach in this state for over a decade. And there's a coaches organization that most coaches are members of, and all you get is a little card certifying that you're a member, and that's it. Outside of that, they don't advocate for higher salaries. They're not giving you professional development on the level we are, and that's nothing against them. But here's the thing, Alan. A lot of organizations exist simply because of the fact they've been around so long.
Correct.
It's kind of like you drive out to a mall and you see Sears. Why is Sears still around when you only got like 2 people inside of the store?
That's correct. And the benefits, free professional development, free 24/7 mental health counseling, free attendance to FCC events and socials, free in-person CPR training. You get that monthly newsletter, partnership discounts. This is an outstanding membership to be a part of.
And it's free. And none of this could be possible without the wonderful sponsors and partners that we have in our organization. They'll be out there at the conference as well, but it's about making sure that the coaching profession in Florida continues to flourish, that we're able to bring in younger coaches, we're able to build them up, and we're able to make sure that everyone gets paid what they should be getting paid.
It's Saturday, August the 19th. I think I'm saying this right.
Yep.
The Avanti Palms Resort and Conference Center, 9 to 5. Now, we got a banquet coming up, 7 to 10. We were discussing that prior to going on air here. What do you want to tell us about that?
Man, banquet. So we are going to be honoring the coaches of the year in all the FHSAA sanctioned sports. Mm-hmm. We also have a Hall of Fame that we're starting up this year since it's our inaugural conference. We have 4 inductees going in. As far as Brevard, we made sure that we honored the best coaches in the state. There was no agenda here.
Correct.
So when it comes to football, Ryan Schneider over at Cocoa is the football coach of the year. When it comes to bowling, Coach McLaughlin over at Space Coast is the coach of the year. And Coach Robinson, the boys soccer coach at Vieira, won soccer coach of the year.
Only undefeated soccer team in the entire state of Florida. So that's outstanding. Unbelievable. Congratulations to those coaches. Congratulations to you and your staff, too, by the way, because this is a lot in a short period of time. I
Absolutely.
know what it takes to
And
get this far in this short period of
and
time.
and anyone that's watching that knows me knows that I only work at one pace, and that's go. And I
Right.
know when I was here at Brevard, it was always like, Andrew, slow down. I don't know how to.
You can't. You can't. You want to get things done. You can't
You
stop.
you just go for it.
You sleep when you die.
Exactly.
you know?
Which hopefully will be no time soon, but
Right. And even then, I think I'd be a little restless. You know what I mean? But there is another special award you wanted to discuss, right?
Yep, two things I wanted to discuss. First, I wanted to announce it here. I didn't want to reach out to him directly, but
Hold on. Let me get solo on you. There you go.
so in our Hall of Fame, we're already inducting Jeff McClain, longtime athletic director at Merritt Island, football coach. Jeff, amazing. But they wanted to announce live on BSN because I'm out here in Brevard. Our next Hall of Fame inductee, Coach Doug Butler over at Satellite High School. And Doug, if you're watching, I'll get in contact with you. But for all that he has done, track and field, cross country, not just at the high school level, the club level, there is no one, guarantee you, no one in the United States that has done more for his track and cross country athletes than Coach Butler. I mean, how many state championships does he have now, Alan? I lost count.
24.
Crazy. He
24.
is deserving of the Hall of Fame award that he's going to be receiving, and I can't wait for August 19th to have Coach Butler there to be able to present him with that award.
Well, we are. I know Caleb and I will be there. We're very excited about this event coming up. And again,
Hold on, and I got one more. I
Oh,
got one more for
no,
you.
okay, I'm sorry. Go
So
ahead.
am I still on the
Yeah,
solo?
yeah, you got it.
So one other award that we're going to be presenting at the banquet on August 19th is the Media Platform of the Year. And there is no one, and I've said this numerous times, you go up and down the state of Florida, all 67 counties, there is no platform that covers athletics, high school, middle school, youth athletics, like the Brevard Sports Network and Allen,
Thank you,
Caleb,
man.
the whole staff.
Wow.
So
Wow.
receiving the Media Platform of the Year will be the Brevard Sports Network.
I don't know what to say, Andrew. I'm going to be honest with you. That shocked the hell out of me right there. First of all, let me just say this: that's the first award we've ever won. Thank you very much. I'm honored. I know Caleb will be honored. I got chills, man. You gave me chills. Thank you.
And that's one reason I wanted to get out here as well today, is to kind of surprise you with that.
Well, you
for
definitely
all the
surprised
times,
me.
all the times you've had me on, and all
You
that you've
definitely
done.
surprised me, man.
But when we really think about it, and I challenge anyone to find any other platform that covers the athletes as much as the Brevard Sports Network, to have someone like Allen who has dedicated his life to these kids.
Thanks, man. I'm getting up on this one. Thank you.
So I can't wait until the 19th, and I have a few more surprises in store when it actually comes to the presentation of the award, which you're not going to know.
I tell you what, we are touched. We appreciate it. But let me say this as well. That award means so much to us, and I know Caleb will love it too. But you, my man, there was a lot. I go back to 2020 when there were things that were being thrown at us, and how you helped us through all of that. Brevard Sports Network is here because of you, and you helped us tremendously. People, you have I promise you, no idea what we went through at the very beginning. There were people in this community that did not want to see this come to fruition. And this guy right here, he steered us in the right direction to make sure that we could do everything that we needed to do to sort of kind of counterpunch and make it on. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. And, it's one of those things, when you get into education a little deeper, you get into the politics. And there's a lot of politics involved with certain things. And at the end of the day, I think a lot of people forget who we're here to serve, and that's the kids.
That's the kids.
And you have proven time and time again you're here for the kids and what you do for the kids. I mean, you're out there covering Little League, man. Hot 100-degree days in July. You're out there. You're everywhere. You are the face, you are the voice of this county, and you deserve to be recognized. And honestly, there's some great news platforms in Brevard.
Yeah.
But they don't do sports.
They don't do sports. They don't do sports.
And that's no offense to anyone that may be
they
watching.
do a great job. They all do.
But when it comes to sports and covering the athletes, no one touches you.
Thank you so much. Man, I really appreciate that. Before we wrap up here, I want you to make sure, because I always ask you this question. What is it that people need to know about the Florida Coaches Coalition? What is the heart of it? What do they absolutely have to know about it?
Well, what you have to know about the Florida Coaches Coalition is we don't have any kind of side agenda.
Nope.
When we started up, we got a lot of pushback from the older coaches that really said, well, we already have this organization that exists. Why are you here? Well, we're here to fill the gaps that haven't been covered in a number of years. We're here to fight for higher salaries for these coaches. We're here to provide professional development. We're here to promote the coaching profession. One thing that I witnessed firsthand out here in Brevard is how many coaches are struggling.
Yeah.
And, myself and Chris were talking about it on the drive up here. Coaches are struggling, and I think a lot of school districts keep these coaches around because they say you need to do it for the passion. Do it for the passion. And a lot of people are just so passionate about the profession that they do it, but they walk in not knowing the time commitment, the lack of salary that they're going to be making, but they stick around every year because
it's incredible.
The passion for these kids, the love of these kids, and they need someone that's going to stand up for them, that's going to fight for them, that's going to be able to tell those in those seats that can make change, the school board members, the legislators, let them know our coaches deserve better. Our coaches deserve more. There is no reason our coaches should be making as little as they are. And I say this now, and maybe this is just jumping a little too far into the future, but it's something that I really want to put out there is we're going to be working with different school districts over the next year to have them either try to move these salaries up or try to make it where booster clubs are able to pay coaches, legally.
Right.
But for whatever reason, by next summer, that doesn't happen. We have lawyers on board that will be picking up a case, and we're going to go school district by school district with lawsuits basically saying that these school districts are violating the FLSA, the Fair Labor Standards Act. And trust me, we've been doing our research for 3 years, and anybody that knows me out there knows I research these things. But we have a team together, and we're going to work behind the scenes over the next year, and for whatever reason it doesn't come to fruition, there's next steps to take.
Yep, no doubt about it. Well, I tell you what, we were blessed to have you here in Brevard County, and every coach that I have talked to from volleyball, I mean, you name the sport, we have talked, and, we are very excited to have Kevin Robinson as well, but to have had you when we had you. And, I think God put you in this position here at just the right time because the very first thing you and I ever did was COVID.
Yep.
I don't know that anybody else could have had first of all, how you and the board and everybody did a terrific job with COVID. Now, everybody wasn't pleased, but you know what? I thought it worked out perfectly. I thought you guys did a terrific job, and I thought the way you handled it, there was going to be nobody better. So I thought you came around at the perfect time. And then the next press conference or interview we did when you said, we're going to get the deal done with the MCOA, that got done. Everything you put on your agenda, Dr. Ramjit, you did. And so we're going to miss you here.
No, absolutely. And, all the best to Kevin. The minute I found out that Kevin got the position, I sent Kevin a text.
Yeah.
Kevin's an awesome guy. I can't state it enough. I remember what I actually look forward to, AD meetings, right? It's like a 5-hour war if you've ever been inside of one of those. just really talking about the athletics and how it affects the kids in the county. And after those long 5-hour meetings for the last year and a half, essentially, whenever I would walk out of those meetings, I'd always walk out at the end with Kevin, and me and Kevin would just stand up and talk for about an hour.
Yeah.
And those are the little moments that I miss. And I know that the county actually has someone now that cares about them.
Yeah.
And sometimes going out to find someone that's not familiar with the demographics, familiar with the county, it could be a bad thing, but actually getting someone on the inside who's qualified and is an outstanding guy like Kevin, I think it benefits everyone.
No doubt.
And I know we're wrapping up here, but one thing, man, I said it at the beginning, but just thank you again to the coaches, athletic directors, administrators, everyone that I worked with in my time here. I miss you guys every day. I miss getting a random phone call from Derek Reed. I miss bumping in to coaches all across the district. I mean, there's just so many people that I can't just rattle off the top of my head. But anyone that supported me in those 3 years, thank you so much. And I hope that you guys come along for the ride with the Florida Coaches Coalition, and you guys support what we're doing, because what we're doing is going to change the lives of thousands of coaches all across this state.
And benefit you.
Hell yeah.
And benefit you, no doubt. We want to thank Dr. Andrew Ramjit, and we want to thank Chris Null, Director of Memberships, as well, for being here today. You'll hear from Chris in the coming weeks, and we're excited to speak with him as well. So we'll see you on August the 19th. Again, there's the information on the screen at the 2023 Florida Coaches Coalition Conference and Banquet in Orlando at the Avanti Palms Resort and Conference Center. So for Chris Null, Dr. Andrew Ramjit, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network.